What's up, guys? So what I'm going to do is show you guys how you access some secret features and some hidden features in your Samsung televisions. So you want to input that code I gave you in the previous video, the mute182, and then you hit the power button, and then it'll take you to this here service menu. Now if you go under options, you'll see that you'll have factory reset, type, you'll have tuner, you'll have the MRT option. Now my camera's like acting up and it's not focusing, just kind of ignore that, and then now it's focused, so we're good. Alright, so we have MRT option. We can click the MRT option. MRT is basically where you're going to have the most fun with your Samsung televisions. It's the one thing that's going to give you basically tons of features that you didn't even know you had in your television. For example, the 21:9 picture size will unlock a feature called Panorama Plus. If you go down to screen or sound mirroring will unlock a feature obviously correlating with sound mirroring, and it will allow you to send mobile device audio to your television speakers. Very, very nifty. Now you can also go up here and you can enable the UHD Alliance Certification standards or whatever nonsense it's there for. The reason why it's checked off on the 2016 variants and not on the 2018 variants is unbeknownst to me, but if you wanted to, you can go ahead and check that off. Mine was checked off by default, but you guys do have access to that kind of stuff. And then all the other little aspects like 3D stuff and whatever you can play around with. But essentially there are some benefits, like for our people on the KS8000 side of things, you can activate the IPv6 support. Mine was disabled by default, so I had to go ahead and enable it. I know on QLEDs it's actually enabled. So it really just depends on your version of Samsung television that you have. But essentially this gives you a lot of options. So with options obviously come a great risk. Don't turn things on and off that you don't know what they are. I highly recommend when you're diving around these menus that you take pictures of what you're changing before you change it. So if you know you want to change a certain menu, you take a picture and then you have it so you know what to have to refer to. But essentially all this is going to show you is a bunch of different things, and it's going to be confusing at first because they word things very weird. For example, if we go back to the main thing, how I told you guys, go down to SVC and then you can do the other setting option, and then you go into the expert, and now you have N/D, and then it's ADJ, but that stands for night and day adjustment. There's a lot of abbreviations going on Samsung's TVs, so that's also something to think about as well. Now, what we're going to do is turn the TV back on, and I'm actually going to show you guys the actual adjustments as it boots back up here, and you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about. So let's just go over here into our trusty dusty menu system, and we're going to go into, it's laggy by the way when you turn it back on, as I mentioned in the prior video. It does tend to get pretty laggy when you're booting back up. Don't freak out, you're not bricking your television or anything, it's slow like that. Alright, so here you see the night cal and the day cal along with all the other picture presets, and then we're going to go down to the picture size. Now in the picture size, if you scroll down, you have Panorama Plus, and then Samsung will give you a nice little description of that. You guys can read it at your leisure. We also have, if we go into the expert sound settings, we have our sound mirroring mode now added into the menu as well. Now when you're on QLED, you're going to have also a couple of different options, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what those options are now. So this is what the menu on the QLEDs are going to look like. You're going to have a couple different options. Now if you notice in the left hand column, it's going to say light effect. Light effect is that wonderful feature that allows the Samsung logo on KS8000 and above televisions to be illuminated. And this is huge because this can actually pop up into a menu or into the menus now once you enable it, and then you can toggle it on from there. So very, very good stuff that is actually included. And I wanted to go ahead and issue a correction against myself that the Q7 does actually have the feature as the Q6FN does as well. Haven't tested it out with the Q8FN, but I would imagine all QLEDs from the 6 and up would have it if the entry-level model does have it. Now that being said, we're going to confirm that this is a Q6FN. If you look at the top under font color, the top left, it says QFN Q655. That's the version that this is. Now I was at my local retail store just kind of knocking about, just simply because I don't need to buy a television to show you a service menu. Very simple stuff. but I did want to show you guys this information so that you can see it. Now, as far as the local dimming, a lot of people are asking, how do you turn it off? If you see in the middle column here, it says local dimming 1. You have to click on it and toggle it to 0. 0 will obviously disable it, and 1 will obviously keep it enabled. Now, once you're done doing that, you can kind of explore around and play around with your various different options. There are quite a few. You have China HD, NTC conversion or NT conversion, Samsung 3D, fan support. I mean, there's tons of different things, but it's just up to you to kind of figure out what works best for you. Now, if you look in the middle column here towards the bottom, it says UHDA, and that's the Ultra High Definition Alliance. You can either turn that on or off. It's toggled on by default in the Samsung 2016 televisions, but for some reason in 2018 it's turned off. So I don't know what's going on there, why it's turned on in one and not the other. So I can't answer those questions, but I can tell you that you do have tons of options. You can even go and adjust things like, the TV framing and like there's just so much, the resolution of your screen mirroring, the overall resolution of the panel. There are tons and tons of options. So get out there, have fun with it, enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, whatever the case may be for you guys. I don't know, maybe some people are starting a weekend early, but either way, I hope this information finds you well. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.
Yeah.